welcome back. I have obviously returned to the surface of the moon, and I've done some modifications that I did off camera that I want to show off. If you were to look at the, let's see, let me get my character from running. If you were to look at the wiki for Space Engineers Thrusters, you would see that typically the small thrusters are 1/12 of the large thrusters in thrust. Power usage and fuel usage is a bit different, but it takes 12 small thrusters to equal the same thrust as a large thruster. So as you can see, I have on each leg, each corner, I've added 4 thrusters. Now that would mean that I would have 4 more thrusters than I need to equal a large thruster. So since with this fully loaded last time, it took 1 large thruster to get up off of the deck of this ship, I added 4 more smaller ones, 4 more small thrusters to aid in that ascent. And while I was doing that, I recall the damage that I did to that cradle down there because I had the thrusters pointing in towards the cargo area. So then I removed those thrusters. I can't remember if I put any up here. I think I was thinking about putting some up here, but I don't think I did. No. So I removed those thrusters at the same time that, much as, you know, I can't remember who suggested it or who mentioned it, the forward thrust needed to be modified. So I went ahead and redid these nacelles back here. I'm not 100%. The whole time I was kind of cringing because I'm not 100% that I like what I did here, but I went with it. I duplicated or I made each side the same and symmetrical. There we go. There's the big word. I made them symmetrical. And yeah, I'm just going to see how it works out. Basically, there is 2 large thrusters pointing aft. And then I went ahead and I put 4. Let me see if I can land over here somewhere. How about here? I put 4. Yeah, my character's running all over the place. 4 small thrusters here in kind of a nacelle-looking housing. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It looks. I don't know. I'll live with it. And then when I got back down here, before I decided to end my session, I went ahead and I built this stuff here. And while I was sitting here waiting for my other character to show up in the game so that I could have my multiple views, that instead of building that assembly of conveyors, connector, and sorter, why not incorporate it into the design, and that way I could just connect with that ship from the top. Everything will be symmetrical. It'll be on the ship the whole time, and whenever I need to use it, I could use it. And it's not like I don't have a place to put it. I could put it right there, and I could put a sorter. I can't remember if a sorter will allow everything through if you shut it off or not. I'm not sure about that part, but I think that that's what I want to do. Is I want to move those connections up here, and yeah, and then make it easier to transfer payloads. so let's see here. I think this is where it's going to go. Yeah, this is where it's going to go. Just carefully. And why I want to go all the way down to the rotor is so that I can put in something. I have to tell you, I thought that might happen. Because there's no side attach points there, and I just kept going though. Oh, brother. Boy, oh boy. Alright, so how am I going to resolve this here? Sometimes I'm too dangerous for my own good. Let's see here. We'll just make it that. No, I don't want that. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to move the ship so that I can fix this. Why is it? Oh, because of the connector. Okay. Yeah, let me, And what I've also done is I've split them up so that, and what I mean by them is I split the large lifting thrusters, the down-facing ones, from all of the other thrusters, so I don't use them all the time. Let me unlock and turn these on, and I'll raise these guys back up. And let's see here, I'm gonna need to be able to look back and see what's going on. I should be clear now. And I'll just go forward. Just slide over here for now, just so I can do the work on the ship. I think that's probably safe enough. Come down and we'll land. I need to extend the pistons. Unlock them. And we're good. As I fall off the side of the ship. Alright, so, I don't know if I want to put a sorter there because I don't know if things will transfer in and out. I know. Let me, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a little test. Might as well, right? So I'll rotate that so that it's pointing down into. You know what? Why do I have this thing up so high? Unlock. Come down. I'll shut off those. I'll lock. There we go. Ah, much better. And so there's that. I want to just throw on... Oh, I already have that in there. Rotor. What I want to do first, just for giggles, let's throw this in place. Did I have anything left in this ship here? Alright. So now, I just want to throw some stuff in here. Let's set up the conveyor sorter. Whitelist. Components. So actually, oh, 0 is the key I want. So I'm going to pull these out from the bottom. Oh, I forgot to set the conveyor sorter to drain all. Okay. So, now I want to see conveyor sorter if I shut it off. No. And there's no other way to do it other than, well, if I put drain all, let's see, will that make a difference? Okay, so it does seem that once you have a sorter in place, unless you clear the filter, it's not going to allow you to do anything. Alright, so then I suppose what I'm going to do then... Oh! Yes, I almost forgot. Then... so now, do I put a conveyor frame? Or... kind of... if I want to put a build and repair in there. I think I'm just going to put a conveyor frame. And let's see here, I want to make sure that 0 is forward. Oh, before I do that, maybe I should weld that up. Excellent. So again, make sure 0 is forward. I'm looking at the tab. I don't want that. Okay. And so as far as down here is concerned, it's all the same. Up on top is where it's a little bit different. Yeah. And you know what? I'm thinking of changing this again. Yeah. I don't like the way it looks. And because I've learned from the past, believe it or not, not that there was a possibility that it was going to have an issue, but just in case. Alright, fine. Limited on hydrogen here. I don't want to... Well, not limited, but I don't want to use hydrogen that I don't need to use. Yeah, I like that design better. It still stays with the design I started with. Are they a different color? They are. Okay. Since I know the other side is supporting it, you know, just in case. This is just, I'm doing it this way just in case there's little hiccups as far as targeting, because there is yeah, I can, it's right in front of me, but yet it doesn't want to weld it. Alright, I think that is very acceptable. I like the way that looks now. Almost to the point that I might change the rest of them. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, I went a little bit crazy. I saw something that I liked, and that's what I went with. So there we go. It looks a little more robust. Alright, well, it's alright. Build and repair will get that. So now I just need to name everything, and then I'll come back and I'll reconnect. And then I'll start my regrinding. Let's see, control panel. That proves to be a problem. That's okay. I'll just remove some blocks. my keys right here. Come on. Level off. There we go. There we go. Oh, I forgot. I got to extend my gear. Then I'll shut off my inertial dampers. There we go. Okay, well that wasn't too bad. Except that this connector got messed up. Wow, it was almost destroyed. That's crazy. Alright. Cool. So, it seems that... let me go ahead. I'm going to drop this stuff in here. And then I will throw these things in here. Alright, so let's see just how well this is going to work out. So now let's see how this works out. It should work out pretty well. See, I think, yeah, that's my down. Turn on my lower connector. Get the camera going here. Come on down. Awesome. And so now it's all about, wonder if I shut off the inertial dampers. Okay, everything seems to be okay. Alright, so let me get out of that. Let me get in here. I'm gonna go to, that's the carrier. Carrier cargo, cargo 1. This will be PETA. Or I'll just do that. There we go. C02. Okay, so big thruster is not happy here. Wow. Ow. Thruster. Why won't you let me collect the... I don't know. All right. Thruster hot. Alright, so let's get everything transferred over that I can get transferred over. So now that the carrier should be completely full. I had to move it down here because of the extent of the grinding up there, getting to the very last bits of the ship there. So let's take a look and see. I don't like the light to be blinding me. Okay, so let's look at the cargo. Alright, port number 1 is full, center number 1 is full, center number 2 is full. Port number 2 is full, port number 3 is full, starboard 1, 2, and 3 are full. And the connector is full on the cargo container. So we have an absolute full load on this ship. Alright, get back to the whatchamacallit? The traveler. So we'll get all the lights going here. This. Retract the gear. Now we'll just start going up. Ever so slowly. It's being very not helpful. I don't know why. I guess I'm just gonna have to go this way. Yeah, it's just kind of hanging there. It's kind of struggling. But that's okay. We're going up. This is the most mass that it's had since the modifications. So I can't really complain. The average speed is going up. Okay, so let's transfer everything over to the ship. Okay. So with that connected like that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kick those guys on. I'm going to disconnect. Going to enable that. Extend. And I'm going to push her down. Okay, so it looks like I am floating in the air. Okay. Excellent. So we are now locked to the deck directly over the connector, which is good. Everything's happy. Nothing is like going crazy. There's plenty of room for the laser turret to spin around and smack down whoever. Okay. Since when did I want to be on the side? I mean, really. You know, the mag boots, yeah, they have a little mind of their own, it seems. So let's see, what do we have out here? Nomad cargo ship, Veritas Quo, whatever the heck that is. Atlas frigate, civil platform, civil something level, Lev 133, yeah, whatever. Okay, so I wanted to show you something that I thought was kind of neat, and this goes back to I think that's that. This goes back to the ship from last episode. I believe I have it in here. It should be in here. Okay, so now I'm back after realizing that the ship was in a world, so I had to load the world, take a blueprint, and then bring it in here, and then because of the size of it, I had to do a little finagling adjustment here, and rotational yaw, pitching, and yeah, all that stuff. So this, I remember from way back when we first started having the exploration part of Space Engineers. And this ship was one of those ones that you could find floating around in space. And I ran across it a couple times in my little journeys off camera many, many years ago. And I can say many, many years ago because it's been a while since this game has been out. And I was curious to what the ship looked like from what little bit I could tell from the wreckage that we came across last video, or last episode. And when I found that this was the ship, first I said, oh, cool. And then I was like, oh, wow, it really got messed up. And then I got to the point of, hey, I kind of see some things on this, some design cues that I would like to make a part of the Traveler. Not exactly like this, but certain aspects of this, like these pods with the, I don't want to call them wings, but I'll call them wings for now. I have a design that I was tinkering with, just kind of scribbling on pieces of paper that kind of incorporated something like this, because there's some ships in Eve that I really like the design of that I didn't want to duplicate in Space Engineers that other people have basically duplicated in Space Engineers, but there's certain aspects and design, what is the, yeah, I guess the design period. So, some of the ways that the hulls and the nacelles and how they, just the overall shapes came together are very cool. So I just wanted to show this off before I end this episode. That this is I don't know, I guess that is the slowest as I can move. This is kind of some stuff that I would like to do to the Traveler. It'll be over time, obviously. It'll be just like when I first started this, or last season. But just slowly building upon the Traveler as I go along. And there is another thing that I want to say is that this season, I am going to give myself a goal, a rule, I don't know, a guideline, an outline. And that is that each month I will be moving on from planet to planet. Some of the planets you can land on, some of them you can't. So the ones, even if you can land on like Saturn or Jupiter, you're not supposed to be able to because they're gas giants and all that. So we won't land on them, but they'll be in the periphery, in the moons. But in order to start wandering around this solar system and seeing what we can see, and there might be some more threats added here and there. I am going to travel from planet to planet each month. So this month of January, and maybe into the first week of February, maybe that'll be it. Maybe every 4 or 5 weeks, however it'll work out, we'll move to another planet. Regardless of where I'm at in my constructions and that, it'll be time to leave that planet and go to the next. That way we'll be able to, see the different parts of the solar system. You can comment and tell me if you would like to. I wish I had like a observation deck. Could be a future design thing. Well, let's go outside. So we have planets. I think I have all of them in my view here. So we have all these planets up here that not all of them we can land on, and I want to visit them at least to see what's going on, see what the terrain looks like, if it's pretty cool or not. Maybe build a base. Maybe you'll let me know in the comments and say, hey, well, just go to the farthest planet, or just go to this planet and just stay there and do this, or something along those lines. I know there's some suggestions and comments that have been building cities, building castles, underground bases, and stuff like that. And that's absolutely, I would like to do that. I just don't want to spend all of my time in one location, just because that can get not boring for me, because I'd be building and being happy and all that. But I did load into this world so I could wander around to the different planets and check them out, even though they may or may not work, considering whatever update broke some of these things. But yeah, so that's the one I'm going to go to. Now, what the heck is that? Is that Africa? Well, I want to go on to that planet and spend the next 4, maybe 5 weeks there, and then, jeez, grav boots suck. Grav boots suck. Okay, so anyway, I'll plop down somewhere where it'll be somewhere on the terrain of where I actually live on planet Earth. Maybe I will make little bases or something like that, little outposts at the various places around the world that I've been. That way you can see some of the things that some of the places that I have seen and lived in. So anyway, I'm getting confused and off track. So the plan is, like I said, about a month-ish at each location, whether I want to or not. every month I need to move on to another planet. If you say, well, you have to build a ship to go to each planet, you have to be a different ship, and you can't build the same ship, maybe that's a challenge. I don't know. I mean, I kind of hinted at it. I'm thinking about adding the Reavers in here, because the Reavers seem to be pretty nasty, and they don't just limit themselves to out here, because I do have a bunch of things out here, yes, and there are ships that pass by and all that happiness and all. Antenna. Yeah, just like that. So there's ships that pass by, and there's signals, and there's bad guys, and I'm actually surprised that there hasn't been a boarding vessel show up yet, because, well, it always seems to happen. So I'm just kind of rambling here. I don't know if I want to take any ships with me. I don't think so. Actually, I would like to break down some of the ships, because, like, the fighter. I like the fighter. I like the fighter a lot. Get rid of these signals. I like the fighter design. I really do. But it needs some work. It needs some work for maneuverability. It needs some work for the power issues. So I think that the fighter is going to sort of be like this, but it'll be my own interpretation of this. So it'll be a little chunkier, because it'll have a better power reserve. I think that this is going to have maybe one battery in here, and that's, of course, the one battery is not going to do it. So I may have it so that I have a large reactor, and maybe go, instead of having so many small thrusters, maybe I'll have large thrusters. Maybe I'll intermix. Comments have been made before about how ion sucks, you need hydrogen for your fighter, man. So maybe I'll put hydrogen, or a combination, because, if you run out of hydrogen, you don't have ion, you're gonna be kind of screwed. So, but the design that the creator made, this creator made design, boy oh boy, English are my language. I really like the way this looks. It's sleek, but it's not. It's futuristic, but it's not. It's it's like modern, like helicopter design, but it's not. So yeah. So this one is going to definitely get ground down, and after I create the replacement. And one of the reasons why I would like to do some serious work to the Traveler is to increase its size some, and to have a hangar that I can bring some of these ships into, or to make a better, having this out here, it really is jeopardizing this ship. So I would like to have an enclosure of some sort that's far better than this, instead of a depression for the ship to be. And whenever using the retractable gear, they have a funky collision box that even when they're retracted, it still impacts blocks. So I would need to have a larger hangar entrance and a larger hangar to bring ships like that in. This kind of ship right here, I mean, an exterior mount like where it's at is fine. I would like to increase the size of this pad to be more acceptable of a ship like this. This one is going to stay on the moon base. It's solely a moon and space cargo vessel. I'll make one that would be more atmospheric. And this miner, hey, aren't you supposed to be in there? Okay. Alright, well, whatever. But that miner and the miner I designed down there with the replaceable ends, I would like to... Miner? Oh, the the reacher with the extending drills. See, I'm rambling again. So these are all plans that I would like to do, things that are popping around in my head. This is why I have such a difficult time making episodes, is because I have so many things bouncing around in my head, and only so many hours in a day. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and hopefully I'm terminating this with these phrases of, see you next time, and like and subscribe and all that happy stuff. But yep, I hope that I will have more fun and adventure in this season, as opposed to last season. Last season, I guess, I got beat up really bad by some pirates, and I did some beating up. So, and I'm using the LCD pack. I don't know what the LCD pack thing is, but this right here was running, that's running this stuff here, and then over here, repair bay, I've got the script running here for the nanobots. So now they will manufacture anything they need to repair the ship. The only thing I really need to do is maybe take a blueprint of the ship so that it will be running all the time, but I don't know about that. Especially since I'm going to be doing some changes, major changes. Not going to be on the scale as Robin Shield. I'm not going to have like a capital ship that could house 50 players for one player. His designs are pretty awesome, but they're massive. But a little bit bigger than this. Maybe think of this ship maybe twice the size. Because I want to add in like crew quarters, like little cargo bays. I want to get into a little more of the role-playing aspect, so that maybe at the end of the series, when I'm finished making this ship, with all the modifications, I'll post it on the workshop, and then everybody can use it during their gameplay, whether they want to spawn it into their own videos or or just jump onto a server and build it and then wreak havoc. I don't know. I'm rambling. Goodbye.